Hello everybody, my name is Josh Oakes. Welcome to this webinar. I've called it my 5-step game plan to sell your small business for $1 million payday. Now, a lot of you will have been on webinars in the past or recently, and there's been a whole lot of preamble, a whole bunch of games, all kinds of crazy stuff going on to begin with. So I hope you don't mind if I skip all that and just get straight to the good stuff. So, who's this webinar for? Well, if you're a solopreneur or if you run a small business and you've got an established operation, you deliver a really great quality service, you've got an amazing reputation, and you dream about building your business up to sell it at some point in the, let's say in the next 1 or maybe even to 3 or even 5 years, then this is absolutely for you. So over the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can quickly transform your small business into an irresistible, scalable, sale-ready asset. Even if right now it kind of feels like everything relies on you and that frankly without you there just wouldn't be any business. I'm going to show you how you can almost completely de-risk your business, how you can eliminate all of those unhealthy dependencies, things like you as the owner, key source markets or key customers, the sort of things that make your business frankly close to worthless, and how you can make your business an absolute no-brainer to an interested party or to a potential investor. I'm going to show you how you can rapidly boost revenue, how you can inflate profits, and how you can dramatically improve your bottom line without any additional investment in sales or in marketing or any other stuff, and how to quickly surround yourself with a happier, more streamlined, more motivated and incentivized team, even if right now you kind of feel like you're the driving force of everything and that if you weren't around, everything would fall apart. Your business would just fall apart. So my big promise to you today is this. I'm going to show you step by step how you can quickly 2 times or 3 times the value of your business, how you can get it sale ready. And not only that, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to sell that business for a 7-figure payday, life-changing money, the kind of money that's going to set you up for the rest of your life. So before I get to the good stuff, I just want to check in with you for a second. Does this sound like you? Do you have dreams of scaling up and selling your business one day soon to fund the next phase of your life? But the idea sounds amazing, but you've just got no idea where to start. And you might even find the whole idea intimidating and completely overwhelming. Does it eat away at you at times that although you've spent years building what you believe is a great business, you've got a solid reputation, but you still just can't figure out how to scale it up so you can make more, so you can work less and just do more of the stuff that you love, both in business and in life? Does it get to you every single day that all that blood, all that sweat, all those tears that you've poured into your business are totally disproportionate to the money you earn, and you just don't know how to change that? Does it keep you awake at night worrying that one day soon you might have to sacrifice all those dreams that you've got for a life-changing payday and the future lifestyle that you deserve that's supposed to be funded by the sale of your business in a year or 2 or 3 years from now? Basically, when it all boils down to it, do you feel like you'll never have the wealth and the lifestyle that you deserve? Well guys, guess what? I've got some good news for you. None of those things is the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't applied the 5 shifts that I'm going to share with you today. Because once you apply these 5 shifts that I'm going to share with you, things are going to get really, really good really, really quickly. You're going to quickly transform your small business into an irresistible, scalable, sale-ready asset, one that's more profitable and one that's doing much better revenue. You're going to have a happier, more motivated, more aligned and incentivized team around you that live for your business. They love what they do and they're smashing targets that you set together every month. Your business is going to be almost entirely de-risked, which is what every investor or potential buyer wants to see, a business that's completely de-risked. And therefore, the value of your business is going to skyrocket and it's quickly going to become a no-brainer for interested buyers or investors, one that they previously wouldn't have touched. It's going to become a no-brainer. You'll know how to position your business and create enough competitive tension to demand a sale price 2 times greater than the market value, or even more. So before we dive right in, you're probably asking, who the hell am I and why the hell are you listening to me? Well, that's me there. Back in 2007, I started a little travel business, a day tour company down there in Melbourne, Australia. That's what the website looks like in this current day, and I can tell you it certainly didn't look like that all the way back in 2007. It was an absolute shambles. And that was a business that I scaled fairly effortlessly and fairly easily over a relatively short period of time to multiple seven figures, and then sold it back in 2017 for over $1 million. So I know a thing or two about growing a small business, and I definitely know what it takes to sell one for life-changing money. So guys, there are 5 key shifts that you need to make to rapidly scale your business and set yourself up for life by selling it for 2 times the market value or more. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of those shifts on this webinar. So before we dive into those 5 shifts, here's how I discovered them. So when I started my business back in 2007, in the early years, I was really, really desperate to succeed. So I spent a lot of time reaching out to other businesses in my industry for any advice that they could give me, any best practice, any edge that I could get from them to have the success that I wanted. And I noted that there were 2 very distinct types of businesses. There were those that were very small and they were run by an owner-operator who was wearing all the hats, delivering the service, doing the operations, the reservations, and to be honest, looked burnt out, a little frustrated and dejected, and certainly weren't making anywhere near the kind of money that I wanted to be making. Then there were others that were running really, really scalable, really efficient businesses. They were making good money. They had a business under management. They had a fleet of vehicles. And what was interesting is that when I spoke to these seemingly successful operators, all of them had started out like the other guys. And they had been able to scale their business. They'd been able to build teams, create processes and systems, deal with capacity, whereas the other guys hadn't been able to do that. And when I dug deeper and when I spoke more to these seemingly successful businesses, it became really clear to me that there were 5 distinct shifts that they had made to reach the level of success that I had. And I took these 5 shifts and I implemented them into my business, and the results were staggering. I was very, very quickly able to scale my business up to 7 figures and then to multiple 7 figures in a fairly short amount of time, and ultimately sell it for well over $1 million. And it's these 5 shifts that I'm going to share with you today. So, shift number 1, believe in your bones that you can do this. And I'm talking like right now, starting today. You've got to believe in your bones that you can do this. It is 100% possible to transform your business into an irresistible, scalable, saleable operation that is worth a lot of money, 2 times or even 3 times the current market value. Even if right now it just doesn't feel like it's ever going to be like that. You're not turning a consistent profit, or it feels like everything relies on you, you're overwhelmed, you're burnt out, and those are the things that make your business close to worthless right now. Because guys, let me tell you, if I can do it, then you can do it. Nobody taught me this stuff. There was a time when I was completely overwhelmed. I was wearing all the hats, I was burnt out, I was dejected, I was nearly ready to throw the towel in, and I just didn't know where to start with scaling my business and making it saleable. I just knew that one day soon I wanted to sell my business for life-changing money. And then I worked out every step I needed to take and every move I needed to make from that point. Because when I started, I did not have a lot going for me. I had 0 experience in business. I'd never run a business before. I had no experience within my industry. I hadn't had a job in tourism. I had no IT skills. I had appalling administrative skills. I didn't have any networks. I didn't have any support. I had literally a couple of bucks in the bank. I had a couple of really, really unremarkable years to start with. After a couple of years in business, I was doing around 65K in revenue and taking home about 20K a year I was working 60-hour weeks. I didn't have any plans or vision or strategy. I was just literally hustling on a day-to-day basis. And I was doing absolutely everything myself in the business. It was completely unscalable and it was totally worthless. I felt like I was living in a nightmare, and there were so many times I just wanted to put that white flag up and say, I surrender. I just want to go and do something else. Nothing that I'd envisaged was coming true. That luxury fleet of touring vehicles that I dreamt of, well, it was nothing like that. It was literally this, a second-hand, beaten-up Toyota touring van with me as the only tour guide in the company. But by applying the 5 shifts that I'm talking to you about today, I was able to really quickly turn things around. And it wasn't too long down the line from there that we were winning awards for our quality private tours. We had that fleet of luxury vehicles that I dreamt of when I was starting out in business. We had a great team. It was a business completely under management, and we were doing well over $2 million a year in annual revenue. And most importantly, in June 2017, I sold that business and I got well over $1 million for the sale of that tiny little day tour company that I'd started with a couple of bucks in the bank that wasn't doing more than $60K a year in sales in those first couple of years. So to be clear, I had not a lot going for me at all. And I was able to sell a business that I scaled up very, very quickly and get over $1 million for the sale. And if I can do it, you can do it. But guys, I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want to introduce you to Paige Olson. Paige is one of our customers, and she runs a business called Kinney Creek Lodge in Wisconsin. She runs accommodation, kayak tours, a rental shop, and basically Paige has been running her business for more than 20 years. And when she came to me last year, was completely burnt out. I was completely reliant on her for everything. She was the driving force. She was running operations, reservations, running tours, managing accommodation, and was on the verge of burnout with absolutely no idea what she could do to get herself out of this hole. So by instilling not only these 5 shifts that I'm telling you about today, but this belief that she could do it, life has changed dramatically for Paige. And in the last year, she has doubled revenue on the same time last year. For the first time in 20 years, revenue has not only gone up, but it's doubled. She's been able to implement systems right across the business that have enabled her to remove herself from the day-to-day operations. She's recruited. She's working only now on strategy and the things that she loves. She's got a great management team in place, and she's completely removed from the day-to-day. And at the same time, business is thriving. It's going from strength to strength. And not only has revenue doubled, but we've been able to create a really clear 3-year exit plan. And whereas 18 months ago, Paige was trapped in a business she'd been running for 20 years with no way out that was effectively worthless, she's now enjoying life more. She's working less. The business is growing. She's got a team in place that are running it. It's a business that is scalable, it's saleable, and it's going to fund her retirement 3 years from now. Okay guys, shift 2, get out of your own way. Now, when I was running my tour business, I was guilty of this kind of thinking in the early days. I'll be the first one to put my hand up and admit that. Nobody can do things the way I can do them. My brand was built on the service that I deliver, and only I know how to deliver that service. It's just going to take too long to train someone. It's going to just be easier to do it myself. I can't afford to hire people. It's cheaper to do it myself. I've built all these amazing relationships. I've worked my backside off to build so many strong relationships with customers and suppliers, and I just don't want to entrust those to anybody else because someone else just might ruin them. Letting go scares me. It fills me with fear. You know, just the idea of letting go of certain parts of my business. And, you know, I'm just going to tell myself that I like wearing all the hats. It's something I enjoy, and I feel like I need to be across everything that's going on in my business. And so, you know what? I hear people tell me these things all the time, and I'm sure that if you run a small business, if you're a solopreneur, then you're probably nodding along and you're probably guilty of this kind of mindset as well. And you know what ends up happening to a small business owner with that kind of mindset? They end up delivering all of the service or most of the service or delivering the most important services. They manage all the relationships in the business with key customers and suppliers. They end up running a lot of the day-to-day operations. They're responsible for developing new products. They direct their staff. They're responsible for driving sales. They do all the hiring and the firing. They rarely or find it really hard to delegate management. They're generally the primary contact person. They find themselves responding to emails lying in bed at 11 o'clock at night with their wife saying, God, can you please put your phone down? They tend not to share any of their company's financials with all their key staff. They keep it to themselves. They're responsible for all of the strategic planning, and they'll often handle all of the bills, all the payroll, and all the accounting. So if this sounds a little bit like you or a lot like you, and you do some of or all of these things in your business, then I would strongly suggest you ask yourself a couple of questions. Ask yourself honestly, without you, is there really a business? And would your business at this point in time survive a change of ownership, let alone thrive under it? Would it thrive under a change in ownership? And if the answer is no, then your business right now is effectively worthless. It doesn't matter what kind of revenue you're doing, how tidy your gross profit margin is. If the answer to those two questions is no, then your business is effectively worthless. And not only that, and I've seen it time and time again, but what you have to look forward to, if this is you, is a pretty grim future of burnout, overwhelm, exhaustion, lost opportunity, general frustration. And if you've got any ambition to scale your business up and sell it at a point in the near future, then, well, to be honest, you can forget about the dream. But you know what? The alternative, if you can get out of your own way, if you can combat that fear of letting go, if you can set aside your ego, if you can empower others to manage key relationships, if you can recruit, if you can bring solutions in to manage finance and day-to-day operations and to help you drive sales, if you can bite the bullet and bring someone in to help in a management role, if you can step aside and let others deliver your service and find out if they can do it better than you can yourself, if you can entrust others to be that primary contact person in your business, then life is going to get really, really good really, really quickly. Yes, there are some significant fears and challenges to overcome before you can start to make these shifts, but life's going to get really, really good. Almost instantly, your business is going to start increasing in value. It's going to be more scalable. You're going to enjoy it more. You're going to do more stuff that you actually love doing. You're going to find out that there's people out there that can do things better than you can do them yourself. You're going to quickly learn where you can have the best impact possible on your business. And you're going to quickly learn where you have been doing things that you're not necessarily that good at, that you don't do very quickly, and you don't actually really like. And it's going to happen really, really quickly. And that foundation will be set for a scalable, saleable, irresistible business. So I want to introduce you to Orlando Byrne. Orlando runs a small business called Hit the Road Tours. And Orlando sought me out around 2 years ago. And he runs a day tour business, not too dissimilar to the business that I once ran. And he's been going around 3 years now. When he came to me, he'd ground his way to around 300,000 in annual revenue, and he was absolutely exhausted and he was ready to pack it in. He'd made the jump out of his corporate job to realize a dream of running his own day tour company, getting out there in the great outdoors, meeting people, all this kind of stuff. But the reality was very, very different. He was exhausted. He was running all of the tours. He was working till 1 or 2 a.m. pretty much every night after spending 12 hours on the road, managing inquiries, dealing with operations, restocking vehicles for the next day's tour, wearing every single hat, sneaking off to the bathroom mid-tour to take a phone call from an interested potential customer. His life was just a mess. It was exhausting, and it was nothing like what he had imagined it was going to be. So when we started working together, Orlando got it really quickly. The penny dropped that he had to get out of his own way. And within 12 months, it was a completely different story. Orlando was running a 7-figure business. He'd expanded his fleet. He had a remote team running his operations, his reservations. He'd hired a business development manager that had paid for themselves almost instantly. He was spending 3 months of the year traveling. In the middle of peak season, he was sitting on a beach in his native country in Brazil. And life was really, really good. And it was just the start. 3 years in, he'd hit 7 figures and he had some big, big plans for the future. But it all began with a shift in mindset and understanding that he just had to get out of his own way, had to overcome the fear that he needed to control everything, empower others. And when he did that, the results were almost immediate. Okay, guys, so shift 3 is this: use the secret weapon. And what is the secret weapon, you might ask? Well, it's this: the simple sale generator. And what this is the fastest, most powerful, most inexpensive method that exists to transform a business that is effectively worthless and has no scalable, value-boosting systems. It's loaded with risks. It's full of unhealthy dependencies on things like the owner and key customers, and to transform it into an incredibly exciting, appealing, valuable operation that interested parties and investors see as irresistible, as a no-brainer, and one that comes with a serious price tag. Because if you're a solopreneur or you're a small business owner and you dream of selling your business, well, here's what people have done in the past. This is the old way. You could call it business by brute force. And when business owners come to me, this is what they've tried and this is where they've failed. They think that they need to drive their business to the finish line. They've got to work harder. They've got to push harder for sales. They've got to micromanage everything. They've got to shore up those relationships, those really important relationships in their business. They've got to work longer hours, and they see those 60-hour weeks as kind of like a badge of honor. And they've also got other problems because for so long they've been trying to control everything. They've got all these systems, these operational systems, and most of them, to be honest, are in their head. And when they're trying to attract interest and get people excited about their business with an eye to selling it, they're just obsessed with sales and revenue, and they let everything else slip. And that is just a formula for failure. But the alternative is a recipe for success, and this is what I call the simple sale generator. And what it involves is 3 simple steps that gets a lot of people really, really excited about your business, gets them competing against each other to make offers, driving the value of those offers up, and ultimately resulting in a big payday that could set you up for life. Okay, so the simple sale generator starts with mindset. First of all, believing in your bones that you can do this, that your business has immense value, that you can also articulate where the value is in your business and what's so great about it, and that you can crystallize that really, really exciting vision for the future, where your business is going, what life is going to look like in the driver's seat of your business. And if you can nail that down, then you've taken a really, really big step. The next is scalable systems and processes. A buyer or an interested party wants to see a whole bunch of non-negotiable systems and processes right across your business, because they need to know that your business is going to thrive under a transition of ownership. And the next is to simply identify one by one what makes your business risky, where the risks are. And once you've identified them, you just need to simply remove them one by one. And what those 3 steps are going to do, they are going to result in a lot of excitement, a lot of people wanting to be in the driver's seat of your business, and that is ultimately going to result in a massive payday. So it's simple. That's what it is. And to illustrate how powerful this can be, I just wanted to show you this. This is an excerpt of an appraisal of my business the year before I sold it. So I got a bunch of business brokers to appraise my business. Now, this was the best appraisal that I got, and they went into a lot of detail and they asked me a lot of questions about my business, and so the process took a few weeks, but they came back with this appraisal, and they estimated that my business would sell in the range of $600,000 to $690,000. And as you can see, there's a lot of ticks here, the things that they saw that were positive about my business, but there's also some negative things there. And I just wanted to highlight this last negative, what was seen as a negative quality to my business, and that was the business's reliance on me and my current involvement. So that is what I identified as the single biggest thing that I needed to change between that point and the point that I took my business to market if I was going to get the kind of result that I was after. And I wanted a 7-figure result for the sale of my business. So I took a few weeks to figure it out, and that is when I created what you're learning about today, the Simple Sale Generator. And by executing those 3 steps, mindset, systems, and de-risking, resulting in multiple offers and a big payday, well, I was able to do something pretty remarkable. I got well over $1 million, $1.1 million for the sale of my business. So just to recap, the best valuation or appraisal that I got was at the top end, 690, but by implementing the Simple Sale Generator, I was able to sell my business for well over $1 million. So guys, is this making sense? Do you see how simple this can be? Okay, so shift 4, take off your blinkers. So the first thing I would say is to inject an element of fun into this whole process. It's fun. You've built a really great business. Make it fun, get creative, and have a think outside the box about the different types of businesses, individuals that you see in the driver's seat of your business, because interest is going to come from places you just never imagined. So what you need to do is discard all conventional wisdom about who you think might be the obvious owner of your business and get creative. So the trick where your big payday is going to come from is to bring as many different parties along simultaneously to the point of offer as you possibly can. That's going to create maximum competitive tension, and maximum competitive tension is going to result in multiple offers. And multiple offers simultaneously is going to drive the value of those offers up, and it's going to get you that dream payday that you deserve. So if you get this wrong, if you're thinking very conservatively, very narrow-mindedly about where the obvious owner for your business is going to come from, well, most likely you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, because if you get this wrong, then you might end up with an offer, or you might end up with 2, maybe 2 at best. But most likely, without the competitive tension that comes from bringing lots of different types of people simultaneously to the point of offer, they're most likely going to be well under what you want, and more likely than not, in desperation, you're going to end up settling for an inferior offer, and it's going to be a decision that you're going to regret forever. So I spent a solid month just burying myself in this process and building out a buyer list, thinking of every conceivable type of organization and individual that might be a logical fit in some way to my business. That eventual list ran to 194 potential buyers, and it was broken down into around 10 different categories. There were direct competitors of mine. There were companies running a similar type of experience to a different market that might want to expand into a new market. And the funny thing, the eventual buyers of my business came from that list that were tucked away down there at around 135, a company that I never really seriously considered. I ranked them very low on potential. And to be honest, the purchase to me, it didn't seem a logical fit. It didn't kind of make sense, but they got so excited about my business, they got so attached to it that they outbid everybody else. So I guess just to leave you with this, the interest in your business is going to come from places that you just never imagined. So cast your net wide. By doing so, you're going to get a lot of interested people along for the ride. Simultaneously, you're going to get a whole bunch of offers. And if you get a whole bunch of offers together at the same time, it's going to drive the value of those offers right up. And that is what's going to lead to that life-changing payday. So do you see how this works? Okay guys, so the fifth shift, invest in mentoring. So preparing and selling a business, I learned, is a completely unique skill. And it's a skill that even the most accomplished entrepreneurs are clueless about. No matter how long you've been in business, no matter your accomplishments in business, this is unlike anything you've ever done and probably unlike anything you'll ever do again. The skills and expertise you've developed as a business owner just don't translate into a successful sale. I realized very, very quickly that I needed help because the statistics are frightening. In the USA today, more than 46% of business owners, they expect to sell their business, but 79% of these have paid little or no attention to exit planning. Not only that, but pretty amazingly, 70% of businesses in the USA over the last 5 years that were listed for sale have failed to sell. And even more amazing than that, of those businesses, 75% who did actually manage to sell said that they profoundly regretted the sale within 12 months. So what does that tell us? Well, the business owners were completely ill-equipped to sell their business. They were completely out of their depth when it came to the fundamentals of getting the business prepared. But what's the cost of not investing in mentoring? What's the cost of trying to go it alone? So for me, when I decided to sell my business, I tackled it with the how hard can it be? I've built a multi-7-figure business. Surely I can work this out. I can figure this out. Well, my first attempt, I wasted $7,000 on advertising. I wasted 3 months of my time in which I estimate I put 100 hours of my time into getting my business ready for sale. So if I want to put a price tag on that, let's say assuming my value to my own business was $100 an hour, so I probably dropped $10,000 in wasted time and effort for a failed campaign to sell my business. Not only that, all of the leads that were generated in that time that fell through because they weren't managed in the right way, all the lost opportunity. And who knows what could have become of all those opportunities. And lastly, just to hammer home the importance of investing in mentoring, I wanted to share this with you. In the USA today, 42% of deals fall over in the due diligence stage. So after preparing a business for sale, after marketing and promoting it, after attracting offers, after generating multiple offers, after finally accepting one, well, the chance of actually taking a business from offer accepted to exchanging contracts and ringing the cash register, 42%. If I was to use my own personal experience, what it cost me to get my business to the finish line in legal fees, agent fees, marketing expenses, lost productivity, the time that my team had invested in getting the business prepped for sale as well, I estimate that would have cost me around $50,000. So for a deal to fall over in that final stage without the guidance and the support that you would get by being mentored, I would put a $50,000 price tag on that. So I'm pretty sure you'd all agree with me that investing in mentoring in what is most likely the most important process you'll ever undertake in your life is worth every penny. Okay, so today I promised to show you how to quickly transform your small business into an irresistible, scalable, sale-ready asset. I promised to show you how to completely de-risk your business, how to eliminate all those unhealthy dependencies that make it almost worthless, how to make it a no-brainer to interested parties or investors, how to rapidly inflate revenue, how to dramatically improve your bottom line without any additional marketing spend, and I promise to show you how to quickly prime your business for sale and get a dream result more than double the market value. So to sum up really quick, here's what you need to win. You need to eliminate all of the unhealthy or risky dependencies in your business and implement key systems and processes, the ones that are going to instantly boost value. You need to identify and remove all the risks in your business that make it close to worthless right now. You need to create a vivid vision for what the future looks like in the driver's seat of your business, and a plausible explanation as to why you're not the one to take your business there or to the next level. You need to think outside the box about different types of owners and create a target buyers list. And finally, you need to invest in mentoring. And guys, these 5 shifts alone are enough to rapidly scale your business and to sell it for double the market value. So now you have a choice. You can take what you've learnt from me today and you can forget all about it. You can go back to the way that you've always done things. The frustration and the resentment grows as you continue to work too hard for too little, as you continue to see your staff working less than you, making more than you, getting frustrated and resentful because they don't have the right systems and processes in place to do their jobs properly. You can continue to watch those dreams just slip through your fingers of a big payday to justify the blood, sweat and tears that you've pumped into your business over years and years and years. And you can keep trying to figure this stuff out for yourself and keep scratching your head and wondering why people don't get it. People don't see the value in what you're doing and don't see the potential that your business has. And you can keep watching retirement get further and further away, not closer and closer. Or you can draw a line in the sand today and from this day forward, you can commit to transforming your micro business into an irresistible, scalable, sale-ready asset, a no-brainer that's got people lining up, jostling to throw money at you to be in the driver's seat. So if you're done with the dejection and the overwhelm, then here's what I've got for you. I've set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can apply these 5 shifts to your business starting today. I've been doing this for a lot of years, and both as someone who's scaled a business to multiple 7 figures and someone who's sold a business for double the market value, for more than $1 million. Whatever your biggest challenges are right now, I can promise you I've seen them and I know how to overcome them. I'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes, and on this call, I'll work with you to create a step-by-step game plan to scale your business to as much as 7 figures and sell it in the next 1 to 3 or even 5 years for double the market value. And the cost of this call, absolutely free. But here's the catch, guys. This call is not for everyone. Here's who it's for. If you're going to apply for this call, you need to have an established business that generates consistent revenue. You must be proud of the business you've built and the service that you offer. You must consider yourself to be a market leader and have a steady stream of great reviews. So, guys, if that's you, book a session now. So why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it because I love giving back and helping business owners in just the place I once was achieve their goals. Plus, I know you might want my help to transform your business into an irresistible asset and set you up for the next phase of your life. If so, we can discuss if it's a good fit for us both, and if not, that's fine too. So here's how you register for a call. You need to go to scale-sell.com/apply. That's scale-sell.com/apply. But be mindful, spaces are very, very limited. It's physically impossible for me to accommodate everybody, so make sure you book your call now. So what's going to happen, that link is going to take you through to my calendar. There's going to be a whole bunch of appointment options there for you. You're going to grab one that suits you and the corner of the world that you're in. Once you've booked in that call, your breakthrough call, you're then going to be taken to a application form, and there's going to be a few questions there. It's going to take you, 3 or 4 minutes tops. It's just going to allow me to learn a little bit about you, about what you do, about where your customers come from, so that I can prepare for the call. So that's the process, guys. So make sure you book your call now, and I really look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, guys.